What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of End of Twins. Today, we're talking about a banger. This is going to be a hell of an explosion. What are VCs actually funding right now? What is an industry I'm guessing you've never thought about? And no, we're not talking about
these sexy mustaches. Oh my God, look at these mustaches. They're criminal. That's how they are.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we cannot go anywhere, I think 100 feet close to any kindergartens and all that stuff with that mustache. But hey, you gotta take the wins and losses when you have a mustache like that. It's just November. It's the 30th of November, so starting tomorrow.
All right, last episode for the year with the mustache. Okay, Mark.
Also, wait, let us know if you like the mustache or not. Wait, we'll feel.
All right, Mark. Industries that we believe that most people don't or underestimate right now from VCs, right?
Okay, so first of all, what are the classical VC ones that are
right now? AI is king. AI, everything you say in
is
AI.
Anything else except AI? No, there's just everything is AI.
Robots, now. Right? So like,
which is also AI.
So I mean, right now the traditionals would be AI, robotics. It wasn't a long time. It was also like bio.
Well, any kind of software, bio, yeah.
That was for a very, very long time. But
there was actually also e-commerce was a big one for a long period of time. If you think about
B2B.
2000s.
So
2000s.
B2C, and then it came a long period of time B2B. Now with AI, it's now B2C software, again. Yeah. So because AI enables, like, basically you can interrupt a lot of industries with AI because you don't need that many people to do certain tasks anymore. So that's why you can basically compete with the big companies. But today we want to talk about the good old military. One of the things that most people would not associate with any
think
innovation.
About that, did you guys?
Especially, for example, we're from Germany, and like, honestly, the German military is pretty shitty. At least the
I don't know. I have no idea.
Not the tech, but to be honest, like, we had friends who were in the military, and like, let's put this way, most of the.
I wonder if it's everywhere. It's like if you join a big company, they look, oh my God, big company, that must be so effective and everything.
Oh man,
go in there. I think it's the same shit, different story. But I mean, Germany has incredible companies that they're building. Apparently, really good weapons and all that kind of stuff. Anything that is in military technology. So we want to talk about, but these are old giants. We're talking about startups here. We want to talk about new businesses and the newest trends, Miltech.
So Miltech in general, after the Ukraine conflict flared up again, like, drones become so much more important. Like when you see, like, in the Ukraine, proof that $400 drones can actually destroy like tanks that cost like $3 million. So that, I think that,
fucking
like,
crazy.
When the NATO or the UN, when the NATO saw that, and everybody was like, okay, fuck. If that's possible, like, then we saw so much money like flowing into all these drone companies, because in the end, this will be the new, like,
it's a new battleground, right? It's like new tactics. They're like, these are the strategies of the future. It's not about who has more tanks or bigger tanks. It's more about how many cheap, crazy AI robots, flying drones can you build that go boom, boom.
But then also you have to think about what are the countermeasures, right? So you do the countermeasures. Okay, drone disrupting
area zones.
Exactly. Or I don't know, somehow even like nets that they shoot or whatever. It's like crazy.
Whatever works, man. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then at the same time, then you have the countermeasure of the countermeasure. So, for example, there are some that are when GPS are jammed. That, for example, a lot of old drones would just like disorientate.
Well, just like basically they're private. They're ones for the public that everyone can buy DJI, I think, drones, and then just. Well, that's what they did in the Ukraine, and then they just put a fucking grenade to it, and let's fucking go, my boy.
But now, now they have autonomous drones that can actually fly without GPS, so they don't need GPS anymore. Crazy. So they're completely autonomous. So if there's a disruption in the connection, then they can still fly home or do their task. But this brings me now to, Mark, the big companies. What are the big companies and what are they actually doing? So, for example, how about we start with a good old German one? How about Quantum Systems?
All right, so Quantum Systems is one of these startups that I don't know how long they've been around, because a couple of years now.
Let's see.
And they produce basically autonomous aerial vehicles, I would say.
So it's like big drones that are doing mapping, etc. 2000.
So, anyways, so their technology is basically
15. What?
2015. So they've been around for a long time already, 10 years, which is pretty big. But recently, obviously, with the new technology coming out, anything with AI and autonomy, they're getting massive upgrades, and obviously the valuation sees it as well. But because I don't want to talk about Ariel at that one, I want to talk about Helsing.
But
Helsing is crazy.
Wait, we'll do it in a sec. Let me share my screen.
All right.
Don't be too. Let me show that. This.
I mean, they have some sick. The website is crazy, man.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the quantum system here. The drones.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm gonna lie to you.
Can you not see my share? Let me share my screen, my boys.
No.
Screen, quantum system. Sharing my screen. Now I'm sharing.
Yeah, the website looks crazy. I mean, robots.
Now I'm sharing my screen. I hope you can see the screen. But yeah, it's wild. Like these drones, they I don't know. Are they like of styrofoam or something like this? Like, can you see that on the left, Mark?
No, I don't see anything on your page. But it doesn't matter. So they have portable ones that you can just use. You can put them together, and then you just basically map the area. It's really, really cool. They work really well. I think they have already been deployed in war zones, etc. So,
man, they're tiny. They look like styrofoam airplanes. They look super, super cool. Like,
oh my god, like the ones that we had as kids. You know, put the fucking fake propeller on it and just throw it. That was just design. It's kind of wild. But I think I want to talk about Helsing. Helsing is kind of crazy for me. So Helsing is it's just more focused on drones overall. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be in the air. They also have drones that go underwater, etc. Land.
Where's Helsing from, Mark?
Helsing is also German. I think they're from close to Berlin. Not 100% sure where in Germany. And they have been recently very, very popular because they, I don't know, officially and not officially, I don't know, they provided a lot of drones to the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
And which have been used to fight back the Russians. I don't know how successful, but apparently seem to be working really well. And if you go on the website, it looks fucking crazy. These kind of drones like they're straight out of a movie. Super, super cool. The thing is that Germany is increasing their budgets in general, also the EU overall. Militech that's why Militech is so crazy right now, because it's one of these things. Militech, if
protecting
you think about
our democracies,
exactly. And it's another thing. Okay. Let's compare really quickly the difference between the EU, Germany, as well as then the US. So how it works is why Helsing is it's a German company, and in the EU we have pacts, I guess, that we share military technology within the EU with other partners. So that these companies such as Helsing, they get funding from the Bundeswehr, which is the German army, as well as EU other funds. And compared in the US, you only have the US, which is obviously the US is as big as Europe. But it's kind of interesting because then you share within the pool of the entire European Union, which is kind of crazy as well. So that Europe now is thinking of it as one unit versus just, hey, we're one country, which is kind of cool.
Like, when was Helsing founded? What do you think?
Oh, honestly, I think like 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, bro. And the valuation right now is 12 billion.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And think about this way, guys. This is hard. This is like hardware. So hardware with a 12 billion valuation, it's kind of crazy. And we're talking about they are actually delivering drones to war zones, etc. This is one thing that needs to be considered as well. So the life cycles of military, how do you get military contracts? It's not as easy as you would get other public contracts. Yeah, you have to get, because you have different cycles. You have to get first proof test, and they're like the due diligence is insane. And the stress testing, like all the drones, for example, need to be tested in snow, rain, hail, sand. I don't know, whatever you can think of, they need to be fucking working. So if that shit has a JavaScript that's fucking malfunctioning, sucks to suck, motherfucker, you're not getting in there. So it's kind of fucking super, super interesting that I want to talk about. And the industry is, for me, crazy because I've never thought about it. But then in the other hand, I don't know, I'm German, so Mark, it's not that big in Germany.
Mark, let's talk about how actually these contracts work, right? Because if you think about Helsing working with governments, normally would take a long, long time. But how did it come to a 12 billion valuation, right? So what are the steps, right? So First of all, I want to give you a quick layout. So if you have right now a startup, especially in the US, you can sometimes raise based on a PowerPoint presentation. That was back in the day. Nowadays, still, well, with AI, you can build things faster. But meantime, in defense tech, what normally is in the first step is you have a prototype, right? So you build a prototype, then they can test it. And then you start with a small pilot. So the small pilot can be in the range between 1 to 10 million, depends. In Germany or Europe, it's smaller ticket sizes. And then in the US can easily balloon to 10 million just for the small pilot, which is like, if you think about for any other startup, 10 million pilot.
And you're not giving up equity.
Exactly. They're paying you. It's also one of the things, it's hardware, so different thing, but still it is super, super cool. Now, afterwards, what they call is the program of record, and that can easily go between 100 million to 10 billion. And these are long-term contracts. In general, these cycles take between 1 to 3 years in the US because they're like accelerating this process.
Yeah.
Whereas in Europe, 2 to 5 years. So it's longer cycles, as we know.
Bureaucracy is a
big thing.
Yes, yeah.
Germany, Europe. So, but yeah.
All right, let's compare budgets. What's the budget, Lucas? In the US, 86 billion. That's fucking crazy for a defense
almost
budget.
$1 trillion. Huge numbers.
And the EU only has less than half, has 380 billion, which is 61 billion is Germany, actually.
But for me, if you think about it, if from 380 billion and 61 is from Germany,
well, plus 100 billion special fund. I think they have a different one, but I think that's German as well.
But if you think about it, it's not that much from Germany. If Germany is the biggest economy and it does
because GDP, I think based on GDP, Germany has only 1% or something or 2%, and the US I think are using
much more.
I think 5%. GDP.
Man, okay, Mark. How big do you think AI autonomy will become, like the global market?
Oh, I don't know, 50 billion,
50 to 100 billion.
That's crazy. What's the time horizon?
That's a good question. Probably in the next 5 to 10 years. I have no idea. I didn't see it here. Okay, Mark. So,
wait, GDP percentage, and that goes to military, so defense spending. Sorry, US is 3.4, China is 1.7, Russia 7.1.
Holy shit!
Germany now went up to 1.9, and they're the 4th biggest in the entire world. They're bigger than in India.
I mean, India
in absolute numbers.
I mean, India is just people.
Military
is just people.
Cheaper, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of crazy though. That we're still number 4.
Okay, Mark.
Well, now we're number 4, I guess.
Why VCs pouring billions in defense tech?
Well, honestly, might think of it as a bubble or not, but one thing is that AI is enabling this old industry that is ruled by giants, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, whatever. Now for newer startups to build technology, because it's not that the hardware, who has the biggest cannon is going to win now. It's the one who has the smartest technology in terms of software, is more reliable, can detect and autonomously delete threats.
Yeah, I mean, I also saw that on like in air dominance, more and more becomes important, like basically software, because basically there are radar, not scam, but basically the radars of the airplanes sometimes detect different sizes because you can, I guess, measure differently. I didn't check it completely out, but I was like, damn. So basically right now in air dominance, it depends more on, wait, how did I describe it? It was super weird.
Well, I've seen it also that in 100% of the dogfights,
Sierra AI for electronic warfare. Sierra addresses one of the most urgent problems in the air domain: shape-shifting anti-aircraft radars. As adversaries introduce software-defined emitters, our fighters jet lose the ability to understand and respond to the threat. Sierra uses the deep learning to solve this problem and restore our ability to classify and read the intent of unknown anti-aircraft emitters. Instead of pattern matching against known radar signatures, Sierra learns the language. As a result, Sierra drastically increases the combat readiness and survivability of fighters jet in hot conflict. Crazy. Much better explained than what I was trying before, but
honestly, it didn't get half of it. But it basically makes it works better, the software.
Basically,
but in general, like drones are so much better already than humans. 100% of the fights are won right now in a dogfight. Best pilot versus drone, so kind of crazy.
Okay,
in simulation, I have to say.
another reason why VCs spend more money or pouring so much money in there. First of all, it's recession proof because, to be honest, like recession cycle, if there is a war, we always need that. It's more like also a moral question in the end. Like if VCs are willing to spend in defense, some can justify it onto patriotism, etc., defending their own home country from outside threats. So that's like all these things that you can have. Also, zero churn once you have the government as a
churn
customer.
Is crazy low.
Once you have like a military as a a country as a customer, man, they keep paying.
There's a reason why Boeing, Lockheed, and all these stuff, they are who they are and why they have such a grip on the US, for example. Hey, I mean,
and now you can.
That's crazy.
Now you can open. Now can open the entire subject on whether they aliens, that they're alien technology.
See on here talk about in the next episode. Are there aliens? No, it is not the type of
but
podcast.
To be honest, on what's his name?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's experience. Yeah, exactly. He always they had so many guests that was super, super interesting. Honestly, worth a listen. I would definitely recommend this. And afterwards, you'll think like twice, like, maybe
it's
not.
Classified. That's the problem.
Okay, Mark.
I think I just wanted to give with this episode just a quick intro into this topic. I think it would be super, super cool. And in another episode, if you guys want, let us know in the comments below to dive deep, really deep.
To an expert, bro. Think about talk to an expert.
I don't know how much they could say. I don't know how much they could say, but also in general, just diving deep in how the process works, etc. Or even go into one of these. I mean, we didn't even talk about Anduril. Anduril is like a crazy cool company, or Palantir in the US. If anyone, guys,
Shield AI.
Shield AI. I mean, Shield AI, I'm not sure if they're on the stock exchange, but Palantir is. And I know that stock has been going up like crazy. I mean, it dropped as well. So these things that we would love to also go into a deeper dive. But I think that's something for our next episode, Lucas.
Okay, everybody. If you like it, please let us know. And of course, catch you next one.
Peace.